is to CAD a part. It's going to be this part here. This is the second one on the list. It's called the clamp plate. So to start off, we're going to start with a sketch of a rectangle here, and we're going to divide it up into 1, 2, 3, 4 sections like this, and then extrude each of these parts separately. And we can build these holes right into the initial sketch, so we don't have to add any holes later. So let's go ahead and get started. Take a quick look at these dimensions just before we start. We know how much we're going to have to extrude each of these out. And let's go ahead and get started. So to start, click Shift-S or click the sketch button, and then click the plane you want to start on. So I want to go on my top plane. That's how I'm going to build it. So just click this top plane here and just click that. Then to get normal to that plane, or normal to means just get it flat on your screen, just click N, and then you'll get the plane flat on your screen like this. To start, if we look at our part, we're going to start with the rectangle. So to get a rectangle, just click R, or you can click this button up here to get the center rectangle. So I clicked R and just place the center at the origin, which is the center point here, and drag it out. Next, we can add some dimensions real quick. So this height is going to be, if you look back at this drawing, it's 5.25 inches. So just put that 5.25. And this width is going to be 4 5/8 of an inch. So we can add that right there, 4 plus 5/8. So now we have our main rectangle done. We're going to have to add a couple more rectangles here. So one there, and then another one at the bottom. So let's do that. So click R again to get that center rectangle, or you can click this button up here. Move your cursor so it's directly above the origin, and if you do that, you should see this little horizontal, or this little vertical line come up, and that's just showing you that it's constrained to the center vertically. So you can go ahead and just make a rectangle like this, and at the end make sure this yellow line shows up, which means it's just snapping to that right edge. Because it's a center rectangle, it's also automatically going to snap to that left edge, so we don't have to worry about that. So snap there, and let's make another one at the very bottom. For this one, you're going to want to snap it to the very corner, not just the edge. And the reason for that is if we look back at the drawing, you see that this bottom rectangle is actually flush with the bottom edge or bottom corner of this whole drawing. Now we can add some dimensions. We see that these bars, so these thin rectangles, are 1/2 inch. So let's add that dimension here. 1/2, and you can click the top line, the bottom line to add that dimension. So just put 1/2. And then the distance between these two rectangles is going to be this distance here. So 1 plus 11/16. So the distance between these two is going to be 1 plus 11/16. Just as a sanity check, it shows you that from the top edge of the thin rectangle to the very bottom edge of everything, it should be 2 11/16. So let's just make a quick measurement and just double check. So you just click this top edge here, click the bottom edge, and at the bottom your distance should be 2.688. So if we look it up, 2 plus 11/16 is 2.6875. So 2.688 matches up. So that's that. Now we can add in these top holes. So we see that all the rectangles are correctly dimensioned. So now we just need to add in these top circles for the holes. So let's just go ahead and make 2 circles really quick, just there and there. None of these dimensions are correct. We're going to add in some dimensions in just a second here. So the first thing you want to do is make these holes both like horizontal or parallel. So click this horizontal button, click the center of this hole and the center of this hole, or circle I guess right now, and you'll see that they'll snap into horizontal position. And I'm going to want to add the radius. So it says that these drill holes are 13/16, or I guess diameter. So 13/16 and 13/16. Enter like that. So now we have the radius of the holes, and we know that they're horizontal, but we still need to add the actual location. So we see here that the dimension is 1 plus 5/16 from the bottom edge of the next rectangle, and the distance between the two holes is 2 plus 1/8, and the distance from the left hole to the edge is 1 plus 1/4. So let's just add in these dimensions really quick. So click D here to get my dimension again. Click the center of this circle, click the left edge, This dimension was 1 and 1/4, so 1.25. The distance between the two circles here is 2 and 1/8. So click the center of the left circle, center of the right circle, and make it 2 plus 1/8. And the distance from the center of the circle to the bottom edge here, or the top of the next rectangle, is going to be 1 plus 5/16. So let's just do that. So I clicked D, the center of that circle, and the top and this line here, so this rectangle, and it's 1 plus 5/16. If we click that, we can see that everything is all like dimensioned up and ready to go. So if this distance is 1.25, this distance is also probably going to be 1.25, which we can confirm. And then we're done with our sketch at this point. So you can just click this check button, and if you move it around a bit, you can see your sketch is pretty good to go. You should have a rectangle with 2 holes in it, then another rectangle right underneath it, then 2 more rectangles underneath that. And the dimensions should have been specified in the sketch. So if you hit edit, you should see all these dimensions just like that. I'll leave this up for just a second. All right, and then I'm gonna move on. You can pause the video at this point if you want to stay on that. All right, so now I'll hit now we want to extrude. So let's click this extrude button or hit Shift E. And then let's start off by extruding the tallest bars here. So it's the thin, tall bars. So click on the 2 thin bars. And you can see if we rotate a bit, the extruder has figured out that you want to go in one direction. It doesn't really matter. And this step is going to be 1 and 5/8. And we know that because of this dimension right here. So 1 plus 5/8. Oh, I accidentally typed in an exclamation mark. All right, so 1 plus 5/8. And you see that these extrusions have come out, which is good, but our sketch is gone. So to fix that, all you have to do is just click this I button on the left side. It's the show hide toggle, so you want to keep showing that for just a second more. Okay, now you want to extrude this next middle bar. So you see that the distance from the top of these tallest bars to the top of this middle bar is 7/16. But they don't actually give you the height of the middle bar, but that's okay. We can still work with what we have. So we know that the height of the middle bar is going to be 1 plus 5/8 minus 7/16, because from the bottom to the top is 1 plus 5/8, and then from the top to the middle bar is 7/16. So let's go ahead and extrude it like that. So again, just click Shift E, or click this extrude button up here. Click this middle rectangle, and you want to extrude it 1 plus 5/8 minus 7/16. So 1 plus 5/8 minus 7/16. And if we hit enter, we should see, just a visual check really quick, the distance between these 2 bars looks to be about what they've shown us in the drawing. So visually, we can confirm our calculations. So just hit check there. The last part is going to be to extrude this top last rectangle. So to look at that height, we see it's 11/16 right here. So just same thing, Shift E, click on just this rectangle. Make sure you don't click the circles inside. If you accidentally do click it, you can just click it again and it'll keep those circles cut out. You want to keep those cutouts there because you can see in the drawing, they're actually holes. So the extrusion is going to come out 11/16 inches, 11/16 of an inch, and hit OK. And now your drawing's almost done. There's one quick thing. If you notice that these parts are different colors, it's because Onshape thinks that these parts are actually different parts just inside the Part Studio. So to combine them really quick, all you have to do is hit Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, and right-click, click Boolean, and just click the check. So it's just going to combine all these parts into a single part. This box, you just saw the tutorial about it, but I'm going to show you how to do it in 2 minutes. So this whole time I'll be talking so you know it's in real time, and I have an empty sketch or an empty Part Studio ready to go. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm going to bring this into picture-in-picture so you can see the whole time. The timer will be running on the bottom right side there. And let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, Oops, sorry. False alarm. All right, now let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so I'm just making the rectangle first here. So 5.25 inches. I forgot this dimension, 4 5/8. Could probably make this faster if I remember those dimensions, but it's okay. My 2 rectangles. It's going to be 1/2 inch from the drawing. This is going to be 1/2 inch. The distance between these two is 1 plus 11/16. So I'm just going to add that real quick. 1 plus 11/16. All right, and now let's add our circles in. So circles are both 13/16. 13/16. And I want to make these horizontal. And the dimension from here to this top here is going to be 1 plus 5/16. The distance between the 2 circles is 2 1/8. And the distance from the circle to the end is 1.25. So let's put that in, 1.25. All right, so it looks like we're done. Let's just check everything. Okay, we're good to go. So I'm gonna hit Shift E to extrude, get both of those coming out. 1 plus 5/8. Time's almost up, guys. 30 seconds left. Gotta make my sketch visible again. All right, let's go here. 1 plus 5/8 minus 7/16 is what I believe it was. Yeah, 7/16. All right, we're almost there. Click the final extrude. How much does that come out? 11/16. Oops, forgot to type 11/16. And combine these last parts. Boolean. All right, we're done. 5 seconds to spare too. All right, guys, I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe. And share this video with your friends or acquaintances. Peace.